I am back with another case study, and I'm here today with my friend. I would say we're getting to know each other even better as time goes on, but also a really all-around great guy, Ian. Ian, how you doing, sir?
Hey Steven, how's it going?
So look, we're talking about Amazon today. You've done a lot of really cool things over the last while, but we're focusing on Amazon for today. And I always start with, how does a guy like yourself even hear about the fact that you can sell on Amazon, let alone get interested in doing it? What was the moment, or what were you doing in your life where you saw this?
For me and Marketplace Superheroes, it started back in 2017 actually, and I was on a road trip back to my hometown, which is about an 8-hour drive from where I live now. I bumped into an old buddy, and he told me about the Marketplace Superheroes core program, the rule of five, and that piqued my interest. So he sent me the link to the webinar, and I took that information back to where I currently live in Victoria on the west coast of British Columbia. I didn't have very much capital though, so I had a lot of inner drive, and that goes back to other situations sort of catalyzing the why behind my business. But so I took this idea to my now business partner, who has basically been sort of the capital behind the whole business,
Mhm.
sort of the man behind the curtain. And so he said, I'm into doing this. We can split the course. You want to put the grunt work in and start researching and looking at products. And so that was the arrangement. And then we're two first products were kind of flops, and now we have three that are going to be profiting, not gross, but profiting close to 65 grand per year
Wow, it's
with three
great.
products. So we got two that are doing really good, and then one that's a little more seasonal, but it's starting to get really interesting.
That's
So it's
great. Well,
exciting.
yeah, I mean, with three items,
Yeah,
that's good. I mean, like you have 10 of those. It's very interesting, right?
yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So obviously you've been around for a little while now. As you mentioned, capital was a bit of a constraint for you when you started out, but you were very resourceful in what you're doing. You've definitely proven the business model to yourself and your partner now, and obviously you're going to be growing as time goes on. But I'm always interested in, like, how long did it take you to find your to get kind of launched in your business? Did it take you like 3 months, 6 months? How long did it take you?
I think once we bought the program, we didn't have our first product for a whole year actually. And there was I think we were both a little bit hesitant,
Yeah,
and we were both like playing with, oh, we're gonna put two grand, 3 grand, 4 grand into something that we're not quite sure about, with the lack of experience, and we don't really know. I mean, we can take other people's case studies at face value and say, okay, this works. Okay, sure. But then until you actually do it, it's like, okay. So yeah, that first product, it started selling, but it wasn't really a winner. It was really small and really light. So we kind of constantly dipped our toe in the water. We'd send
yeah,
in a hundred at a time, every 3 or 4 months, and it was so small and light that we'd fly it, so we didn't have to commit to the
yeah.
freight service. And then we did a second product. Sorry, I don't know if I'm going off the question
No,
here,
no,
but
you're fine. You're absolutely fine.
yeah. But we did the second product, and then enrolled in the superhero freight. We had that sent out, and it turned out to be kind of meh as well. And there was quality issues with it, and it was kind of like
Yeah,
something that was, if we were going to get it, we'd have to get a really high end version of it, and
yeah.
so it was a little too competitive and not enough demand. So that one kind of flopped. And then last June, so a year ago, I was looking at products again, and I was digging into Robert's over the shoulder research videos and
Yeah.
stuff, and he was getting into things like these caulking spatulas. There were these sets of these metal things, and there
Yeah.
was like two or three, and he's like, "Yep, that's the one. Like that's a good product right
Yeah, they're
here."
more weird, kind of non-sexy products, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and in all fairness, like there's no like you guys say, there's no black and white, right? There's no
Yeah.
this is yes and this is no. It's like there's a spectrum where you're looking at, and like you can still get involved in products that are more competitive, but it might be tricky, right?
Yeah, yeah. Again, you kind of your
Yeah,
experience sort of would validate, right? That was, it was sold, but it wasn't a great product for you, quality issues, all of that. So
yeah,
but you had a breakthrough, which is great in that you had that moment of like, wow, I gotta change and really really listen to what is happening and really focus on that. So that that strategy has carried you forward with these newer items. Would that be right?
yeah, 100%, man. In fact, Robert did one of his, I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of deal. He's like, I'll have my messenger open and you can ask me any
Oh,
questions, kind of
it was a
thing.
long time ago. That'll never
One of
happen again.
but it was last year, and I was looking at this one product, which is now our best seller, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see. So I sent him this mile long message on Messenger, and and he actually responded. He's like, I've loved this product from the very start, the very first time I saw it, and I would go for it. And I was like, all right, cool. This is the first one that we've gotten officially validated by by the team here,
Yeah,
and so that, yeah, lo and behold, right?
there's a
It's
lesson there somewhere, huh?
even to my business partner who's less involved in the day to day, but he's got the money, right? So I'm trying to be like, okay, well, Robert really knows his you know what, and and so we should really listen to these guys and basically just do what they say.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, put your ego away and put your fear that you're going to lose 5 grand. Is like, yeah, but you're never going to get that time back, so you can
But
always get
also,
more
it's the
money.
other side too. What's happened now with you guys is like the other side where well, I think you said 65,000 or whatever your net profit from 3 items, and like yeah, that's the other side of it too. Like you can't get there without starting the other place. So that's interesting, and obviously like for anybody watching, you can multiply that by three ish and figure out roughly where the guys are revenue wise, just to give a kind of
Mhm.
context that yearly, which is great. And it's going to happen quickly from when you change that strategy, you focused on the right items, you double down on the right items. That's awesome. So
Yeah,
what's the plan from this point then? Obviously, like it's well validated now, your business partner's saying, yes, this is a thing now.
yeah.
Plan to add in more products from this point on?
I guess the 1 year plan, because I was aiming to do three. I wanted to double down and get 3 more products this year, and have them ready kind of for boot camp. But then that
For,
all
yeah.
that all started changing. So I'm like, okay, well, what can we do here? So the strategy that I'm thinking is we'll continue fueling these things so that we have enough stock, because we still can't keep them in stock, right? We're
Yeah.
at that point. We haven't,
2 items are not what you're looking for now. Yeah.
by the time boot camp happens, I want to have a good pipeline. Maybe by New Year's, having 3 more products with that profit, from the 3 we have right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
that's short
great.
term. That's like a year's worth of
Yeah.
ideas, but
But also the other side of that too is while staying in stock, your net profit, even with those 3 items, could be, obviously a lot higher. Even it could be more like 80 or 90 grand a year. Who knows? Obviously, once it stays in
yeah,
stock, because as it stays in stock, the product just grows faster and faster. And that's a challenge, right? Because you're like, oh, I gotta put more in to stay in to experience the height. And that's why I always tell people, like, you don't actually want a product or multiple products to go crazy too early because it just blows your cash flow up, right? But obviously, you guys are getting
yeah,
to that point now where you could actually look to get them funded, by a lending institution and stuff like that because you've got
yeah,
the proof of concept now, and that could be a really good route for those items.
yeah, for sure. It's something that's crossed my mind, and just to put those profits towards new products instead of just buying more of the same.
Yeah, well, it's nice because someone else can fund that while you go and grow your business by, taking your own capital and trying new items out. But your proven items, your winners, you're paying a small percentage to keep them in stock, and somebody else who lends money, they can take that's what we did anyway, and that helped us grow our business a lot more quickly because I think you can be a victim of your own success as well, especially like you have a certain amount of capital. Obviously, you're getting profits back, but then the thing's growing. So yeah, like I think that's a good route for you guys going forward. That's something we can certainly help you guys out with. But man, that's awesome. I mean, I'm delighted to hear the speed of the growth when you started really focusing on the right stuff, and that's been great. I think a lot of people will be very inspired. One thing I always ask, and I'd like to get your take on just as we wrap up, is like people might be on the fence about pulling the trigger on a product or joining the program or something like that. What would you say to people that are just on the fence about those kinds of things? They're not sure what to do.
Honestly, I would say, and this is something that kind of triggered the part of the why I got involved in this, is don't be complacent. Don't be complacent with where you are and what you're doing right now. Like, there's so much opportunity out there. It's insane. It's really overwhelming because you don't know what you don't know. And so yeah, don't be content, but feel that push and know that everyone in this program wants the best for you. And of course, including yourself and the whole team, like, they really want to see you succeed. So don't be okay with where you are.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, it's great advice, man, because at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of people right now who go into work every day not happy with it, and they don't have a plan for how they can actually get out of that. And as you say, just staying, what they say, comfortably miserable, as is the phrase goes, right? It's like that's not where you want to be either. So I like that advice that if you really want something, it's available. And as you just said, and you're right, there's so much opportunity out there. And as you know, you've done a lot of different things now. There's so much out there. So that's great advice and great insight into life in general. So yeah. So look, I'm so proud of you and your business partner. Like, you've done really well. Fair play for the initial kind of products didn't work out as well for you. Very afraid to invest money. Now you've put in real money. You're starting to see some real returns. That's great.
Yeah.
And man, I'm just delighted to see it. So I look forward to seeing you grow, go from strength to strength, you and your partner. And yeah, man, thank you so much for taking your time today. People love these. Yeah. They'll be very inspired by your story.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Yeah. Happy anytime.